And another countdown, and it's hump day, hump day. Hump day's finished, into the second half of the week. I guess if anyone from the US of A, or, so many places, it's actually early morning hump day. Most of the people from diverse time zones come from the USA. Anywho, Shieldsy, you're here early again. What'd you get? You got your birthday gift. You can see your displays clearing out. Was your gift glasses? Because that worked for me, suddenly seeing things more clearly. Yes. Or was it just some cleaning cloths so you could see your displays more clearly that way? I don't know. I'm expecting a self-purchase gift, not a birthday gift. It's just, when you buy the stuff online and then you kind of lose track of it, and there's the stuff that takes a while to get delivered, and then it's like, then you get an email from Australia Post that says you're getting a package delivered in the next couple of days. It's like, cool, I don't even know what it is. I mean, I can narrow it down to a couple of things, but I don't know exactly what it is. So it's kind of fun getting a surprise in the next couple of days, hopefully before the end of the week, which would be the next couple of days, obliviously. So, monitor stand. There you go. That's another thing that can help you see displays clear. I thought you were getting glasses. I thought that's what it was. It's I can see now, and now everything is blurry. No, I can't. Everything is blurry. And now I can see again. Hey, Salumi, how are you this fine evening? It's fine. It was warm today, but not really hot. Apparently, large amounts of the country are getting a real hot weekend. And they keep changing the predictions. What's the current prediction for here in Melbourne? Tomorrow, 30, warm. Friday 26, a bit more pleasant. Saturday 28, Sunday 35, Monday 35. Then a cool change down to 23 on Tuesday. Damn. So you go, Shieldsy. You do need glasses as well. And you're a bit wet, Shieldsy. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Slim, you're getting 40 in Adelaide. We get your hot weather a day after you get it. So yeah, so Sunday and Monday are 35 here. Cest labai. Just a little surge, not like one of those ones where we have, and it's early days because we often get this in February, the brutal heat waves where it's over 35 or even over 40 every day for a week or more, and it barely gets under 30 at night. Those weeks, they fucking suck. Oh yes, hoping for a date tomorrow. Nice. So send all the positive date vibes your way, Salumi. Be nice. Hope your day goes. What's that? Oh, right. It's like something on the side of my glass. It's from the last thing I drank out of the glass, from the fruit juice I drank out of the glass. I was worried for a second. It was blood, but it's blood orange. So that's a bit less distressing, quite honestly. So, yes, I do. You're getting 35 tomorrow, Salimi. I hope it cools down a little bit for your date. We only want the date to be metaphorically hot, not literally hot, because that would suck. Aquatical Panda on Twitch. Hello. Ooh, nice. That is very handy info, Salumi. Your site gave you tips on cafes and restaurants with escape alleys. If it all gets too stressful. Nice. That's some potentially quite useful information there. You'll love that. So, cheers to that. Fruit juice, cheers. Yes, Aquatical Panda. By the time I wake up in the morning, the inauguration will have happened. And I guess I'll check the news as soon as I get up to see if anything fucking nuts happened. Annette, hello. Good evening. She was your last visit to Melbourne was 3 days, 3 hot days, storm. Yeah, it's thing. Quatical Panda, you're a bit worried about things getting violent. I don't know. I almost think like the idiots who are now like dumbfounded to be facing criminal charges might have learned their lesson from the old clown insurrection at the Capitol. I think there is possibly some concern at some state capitals, particularly in states where open carry in front of the Capitol building is legal, because you don't know what someone with a gun's going to do until they do it. It's kind of like a little light bulb might go off and legislators might realize, oh, we actually have to place a bit more restriction on weapons because we have encouraged fucking wackos. Quatical Panda, you never thought you'd be terrified to live in the USA. Well, congratulations on getting this far without being worried about it, quite honestly. Because there's been lots of reason to be concerned. Salimi, you want to get back to Melbourne before April? That would be nice. Hopefully be able to catch up. Just the 12 National Guards got removed. Do they have like white supremacist tattoos or something? Or they're on Facebook going, "Yep, I'm going to shoot Biden," because that's what all the other idiots at the Capitol did. Just publicly shared their crimes and then got super surprised when there were repercussions for their crimes. It's weird. They literally thought nothing would happen to them. Quatical Panda, you just turned 18. You have to face the world as an adult now. I could see that hitting you a bit hard, quite honestly. Yeah, you know, it is. It gets different as you get older, what you have to deal with. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. How are you this fine evening? Yeah, Kirsten, after you told me the Junipalooza got cancelled, I went on their website and it's really fucking confusing because they keep referring to 2020. They're saying 2020 is cancelled. I was like, do you guys know it's 2021? Do you mean 2021's? And obviously they mean 2021's cancelled. But it was quite confusing that it just kept referring to 2020 being cancelled. So yeah, if you're saying you got that Friday afternoon, evening free, hopefully we can do what were the two distilleries we're talking about that are near each other. There's a Patient Wolf and Starwood. Do some distillery visits. That'd be fun. So see what happens. Aquatical Panda, what am I drinking? This is a pineapple coconut juice with lemonade. My other fruit juice I will be drinking later because I have to test this one. This is you see my face in there. This is a milk clarified Forbidden Sour. It's a whiskey sour with fruit liqueur in it. They said to do pomegranate liqueur, which I didn't have, so I used passion fruit liqueur, but I did use pomegranate syrup, aka grenadine, as the sweetener. So that's like a milk clarified fruity whiskey sour. I haven't properly tasted that yet, but I will when I finish my. Yes, Aquatical Panda, just like that's a pina colada, but no booze. And goodness knows, I like my pina coladas with booze as well. But yeah, coconut's a good flavor. Pineapple's good flavor. Big collection of rums over there. There's like, I don't know, 10 rums. And I have no idea why I have that many rums. I never thought I was a big rum guy, but randomly, I ended up buying, not randomly, deliberately, I ended up buying a bunch of rums. So yeah, Aquatical Panda, 18's drinking age in Australia. I get it's 21 in the US, but and I have just turned 18, so I'm legal. Yes, harumph, he said. Again, I think I've got eight or nine gins, 8 or 9 whiskeys, 9 or 10 rums, 3 or 4 unaged, 3 or 4 things that are like cousins to rum, and a few unaged things like moonshines. Dropped my pen because I was fidgeting. Stella, good evening. I'm such a fidgeter. Never fear, I have a second pen that I can still fiddle with. This is a clicky one. Do some ASMR. Some people like that, apparently. So, yes, I am quite a problematic fidgeter. Aquatical Panda, if you don't like bitter stuff, what's the best kind of alcohol? I mean, this is why I like cocktails, because you can create the flavor you want. And so you want to look up some good, simple, classic mixed drinks. Like for rum, something as simple as a daiquiri, which is just rum, a light rum, lime juice, and a sugar syrup. And that's really nice. Properly prepared, that's really nice. But yeah, you go pina colada, you get some coconut in there and some pineapple in there and some rums. It's all down to what you mix it with. It's easy to do things that aren't bitter. Because you've got 5 rums, but over 100 gins and 30 odd whiskies. Yes. While my collection, I don't know, it's increased by at least 50% since the start of last year, if not 100%, honestly. But certainly there's at least 50% more bottles there than there were, because I buy them way faster than I drink them. I did buy somewhere in the region, if you count the little sample bottles, if you count the little sample bottles, I bought about 100 bottles last year. What color are my eyes? They're green. Green, blue. More green. Salumi watching Captain America. It's really bad. Is that like the Captain America, the First Avenger? I always thought the transformation of the skinny Steve Rogers to the tall, muscly Steve Rogers, I thought that was very clever, understated effects. You got little weedy Steve Rogers who turns into big beefy Steve Rogers. I thought that was pretty cool. So long since I actually saw the movie. The First Avenger. So that was like one of the first couple of because it's like what would they go like Iron Man 2, Captain America, and then the Avengers. Well, no, Thor was in there as well. Locust Trooper, how you doing, buddy? You're not a fan? Yes, Captain America is very two-dimensional. What order were Marvel films released? So it's Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, which of course then they ditched that Bruce Banner, Iron Man 2, Thor, then Captain America, then Avengers, then Iron Man 3, and then the second Thor movie. God, this website just has a million pops on it. Captain America, Avenger, Iron Man 3, Thor, Dark World, Winter Soldier. Now, Captain America, Winter Soldier is much better film than First Avenger. Then Guardians of the Galaxy, then Age of Ultron, then Ant-Man, Captain America, Civil War, Doctor Strange, which I quite like. I think that's underrated. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, which is fucking brilliant, Black Panther, which is fucking brilliant, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home. Nice. Been super busy making your money, making the cash with your 3D printing. No wonder we haven't seen you, like Stripper. Been super busy. Yes, well, Salima, the Incredible Hulk was obviously ditched. And you know, Mark Ruffalo makes a very good Hulk, very good Bruce Banner, very good Hulk. Yes, I think I think Taika Waititi's directing the next Thor film as well, isn't he? Because Ragnarok was just fucking brilliant. Love that movie. And yeah, Shieldsy, it was a bit sad. Our man from Black Panther dying very prematurely. Chadwick Boseman, that was a bit depressing. Premature deaths usually are. But apparently they're going to do a Black Panther movie with Suri as the Black Panther, because I think that's what actually happened in comics as well. So there's that. Yeah, because Black Panther is one of the best of the Marvel movies, because you can fucking identify with the bad guy. He takes it a bit far, but you know, he's fucking, he doesn't say much that is incorrect. He just takes it a bit far in that I'm upset about stuff, therefore I'm going to kill every motherfucker I don't like. But going back to Taika Waititi, he's apparently directing a Star Wars movie as well, which I'd love to fucking see. He was one of the directors in the Mandalorian TV series. And that was pretty cool. So I wonder how long it took, because there's like meant to be 6 Star Wars series come out on Disney Plus this year. Fascinated to see what they're going to be like, because they're not all going to be good. They are not all going to be good. So we can just wonder which ones will be. Oh yes, you haven't seen the new. That's only been there since Monday, Locust Trooper. So made its debut on the live stream last night, because I didn't do a live stream on Monday. But it's very big fridge, and it's closer to me than the other fridge was. So so I gave everyone a guided tour of the fridge last night. Big step up. So pretty happy with that. And yep, it's ace having a big old fridge. It's one of those sexy ones where the fridge is on top and the freezer's on the bottom. But I'm liking it. So although it was too cold, like it's got a little control, and it said, "Oh, when you start your fridge, set it on 3." And I went, all right. And I got my lemon juice out of the fridge, and it was fucking frozen. And so they put a little thermometer in the fridge, and it was fucking below 0. And so I turned it up a bit, and now it's above 0 in the fridge. What height is it? Looks like, no, it's not that tall. It's actually only about my height. So I am sitting down. I'm not standing up. If I was standing up, that'd be about 1.95 meters tall. But no, it is nowhere near that tall, because that height would be impractical for a significant majority of the population. If the fucking fridge is 2 meters high, and it's like very tall like that. So no. Safa, good evening. Yes, Shieldsy, the Thor movie is filming in New South Wales. Yes, all the Hollywood stars hanging out in New South Wales. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be like 2 years before that comes out, because the post-production on these fucking things is killer. And how hard must it be to keep the secrets for that long? Like, you go in, you make the movie, and then the premiere is usually at least a year later, if not 2 years later. And it's like, A, you got to keep shit a secret for all that time. B, then it comes time to do promotion, and you've got to remember, what was it like on set? I don't fucking know, man. I've done so much. And that's the other thing, because really busy Locust Trooper, I have not lost weight. You're being exceptional. You're being exceptionally kind, mate. I have not. Maybe my hair just makes me look like I've lost weight, because I fucking haven't. Yes, Shieldsy, Thor lives in Byron Bay now. He was in Queensland, wasn't he? So am I getting up at 3 a.m.? Fuck no. I do not give. I assume that's a reference to Biden's inauguration. I do not give a flying fuck about Biden. I'll wake up at whatever time I wake up. Alarms at 7. I often wake up before that. And I'll look at the news to see if anything fucked up happened in America, because it's a little concerning, the general level of fuckery in America. So, but it's like, yeah, there might now be an administration that actually takes far-right white nationalist terrorism seriously, and realize they're actually in serious fucking danger. And there you go. Like, you're going to Altona. What's oh, yeah, because you built your own house out of ways, and you're going to rent. Is that to make work easier? Why are you going to Altona? Abigail, you're out. You're at a friend's place. Can't chat. Thank you for checking in. Everyone who's on YouTube, Abigail is actually checking in via Facebook at a friend's place, but wanted to say hello, which is very nice. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Checking in and saying hello. So, yeah. Oh, Patman Sport. G'day, mate. How you doing? Oh, just to move. Yeah, okay. You just want to move to the beach, going to Altona Beach. Fucking works, man. Why not? If that's your scene, go for it. Shields, if we're not in lockdown. Oh, I see. would have filmed up your thing, 30-minute helicopter ride from Byron Bay to Brisbane. Oh, yeah. They must have done a big juggling act of, okay, let's just pretend the state borders are going to be closed either all the time or some of the time. With that knowledge, which state would we rather film in? Would we rather film in Queensland and not be able to go out of Queensland? Or would we rather film in New South Wales and not be able to move out of New South Wales? And they've obviously, probably because of logistics, decided on New South Wales. There you go. Batman, I'm doing well, mate. Just, cruising on through life. So I guess Altona's changed since you've been there last? Yes, it does. Asshole Patrol. You didn't click because of the title. Okay, first lie. Okay. The amount of liquor on camera is rightly considered. Dude, it's on camera. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. Okay? If it was the amount of liquor that's in here that would make a difference. See, maybe you grew up in an environment where people didn't have any self-control and were binge drinkers. That's there for variety, not because I'm going to drink it all, So it's to make my drinking a more refined and varied experience. I don't just neck a bottle till I lose consciousness. I like diverse. Yes, Shieldsy, it's a backdrop. It's part of my set. It's my set dressing. But yeah, we were just discussing earlier, collectors. I don't even have the most bottles among my friends. Locust Trooper Altona, when I first moved to Melbourne 20 years ago, bad fucking reputation. But yeah, I think it's been gentrified. Yeah. Yes, Kirsten, poor Asshole Control probably would have a seizure if he saw your gear. Shieldsy, well, special occasions, man, New Year's Eve. I no qualms about admitting I was fucking knocking it back on New Year's Eve. But I stayed conscious right through to 3 a.m., right through to Perth's New Year's. Right, it's a green screen. That's what I tell them at work if I'm doing like an online meeting and I accidentally put the camera on. They go, "What's that?" And I went, "It's fake background. It's not really behind me. Don't worry about it." So I like that, Kirsten. All flat spaces must have booze on them. It has gotten to the stage with the collection and the glassware and the shakers and everything. Like if I won Lotto, I would part of, because I would buy a house if I won Lotto, and part of the decision would be, okay, the house has to have like a space that is going to be either it's already got a bar built in the house or it's got a space that I can turn into my bar. Just like fucking shelves upon shelves. And I'd actually love to set it up like a bar for parties, like actually have a bar, stand there and shake drinks for people and all. It'd be fun. Patman, how's AIDSy? For AIDSy, not bad. Kind of okay. Slummoth on Twitch, how are you going? Possible civil war. Yeah, I'm just fucking sleeping, man. I've been saying just gonna fucking sleep, and what happens, and I'll find out about it when I wake up. So I'm just checking something on my phone. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's fine. I was talking about AIDSy. I was checking for messages. He may or may not be in tonight. When did we last see him? Sunday. He was here Sunday night, and he had a seizure on screen. Fortunately, not a big one, and fortunately, boss of the house was there. I didn't realize what was happening at first. I thought he was taking the piss out of me. Shieldsy, party at my place and get it. not like I'm going to announce on the internet I won lotto. I'll announce on the internet if I buy a lotto ticket. That's the big impediment to me winning lotto, not actually buying lotto tickets. So it's a figure of speech, I guess. When I win lotto, yeah. Anyway, Slummeth, that is, dude. Look, it's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. 2 full drink carts. I don't know. Tried counting them one of the live streams. There's about 80 bottles there. As I was saying, not as much as at Kirsten's place. Yeah, Raiders. I think the way all the clowns from the failed insurrection have been getting arrested will give other people pause for thought. I do worry. I don't think anything will happen in DC. I'd be super, super fucking surprised if something happened in DC. Yeah, Shields, if I just disappear from YouTube, you'll know I won lotto. Because I won't make a public announcement. I'll just fucking disappear. Oh, yes, Lumi. Sometimes I would do it with work people. Yeah. Someone say, "Oh, you want to put in a lotto?" Okay, yeah, put in for lotto. Yeah. Oh, yeah, buy a lotto ticket. Raise your chances of winning from absolutely zero to just marginally above zero. It is mathematically slightly better chances than zero. Oh yeah, Shields did say they did get the woman who stole her laptop. Well, these people who thought they weren't committing really fucking serious crimes just blows my mind. It's like, wow. And the vast majority of them who stormed the Capitol, they weren't overly malicious. They were just fucking morons. There was a hardcore group, and you can see them on video. The ones who kept their faces covered, the ones who had guns and those zip tie handcuffs, and they knew the layout of the Capitol building. Their goal was clearly to take hostages, and that's actually pretty freaky. It wasn't just a woo, we scared you. There were people in there whose plan was to kill, and that's fucking bad. Was it true that she tried to sell the laptop to the Russians and the Russians turned her in? I was like, oh my God. Raiders, downtown LA is a problem. So much for a blue state. Beverly Hills is one huge trash heap. Really? Ugh. So long since I've been there. I think I only visited, went to Rodeo Drive on Beverly Hills once. And it's like fucking 30 years ago. Long time ago. Oh, Natalie, her ex turned her in. Isn't it funny the number of these fuckwits whose faces were on video and photo storming the Capitol got turned in by family members? They went, fuck you, Dad, you racist piece of shit. Just call the cops. Yeah, that guy on the left, this is his name. This is where he lives. There's Uncle Frank, the piece of shit. I'll turn him in. Really, really, really funny that they were just getting turned in by family members. Safa, if the little wannabe terrorists had actually captured and or killed basically anyone in there, I have no doubt they'd be facing the death penalty and they'd get convicted and executed. So the wanker with the shitty Norse tattoos and the horn hat. Yeah, he'll be facing quite serious charges. One or two of the loudmouths who started getting their attention on YouTube in years past have been arrested. They'll be going to prison, which is fucking funny. Ah, dear. All right. I've dutifully finished my. I'm actually hanging out to taste this because I don't know what this tastes like. So I need to get a glass and some ice, and we shall see what that tastes like. My clarified whiskey sour. This is actually Irish whiskey in this too, that I did just to be different. So, my knees. Oh, I'm so old. Yeah. Glass. Glass. Ice. Ice, baby. Okay, get that one. Big old chunk of ice. Put it in the glass. Oh. And let's have a little taste of this. Yeah, Shieldsy, there's lots of photos and videos. Some's got less airtime than others, but it's all pretty freaky. Jawslayer on Twitch. And by the way, if you're on Twitch, the reason I mention you're on Twitch when I say your name is because most people watching on YouTube. What? Suddenly this fucking... bloody webcam is flaring out. Now, I used to always... I'm going to do this. Then it does this autocorrect shit and fucking flares out my 5 head. Jawslayer, this is a cocktail I have made. The base cocktail was called a Forbidden Sour. It's a whiskey sour with some fruit liqueur in it, sweetened with pomegranate syrup. And then I milk clarified it, so it went this nice sort of rose peach pink color. And now I'm going to try it for the first time. Ooh, that's pretty good. Whoa, that's really good. What's that, Lord Crunk? MAGA stands for Make Americans Gullible Assholes. Look at motherfuckers all getting arrested is the one I like. Because it just cracks me up that they're surprised by it. Shieldsy, you think it's the silver fridge. It's part of the problem is the huge fucking expanse of my forehead. Absurdly large forehead. See, it just auto-corrects occasionally. I don't even know if I have any control over that. Who knows? Who knows? But it's a nice resolution. That's okay. That's okay. I'll survive. So, it's a funny thing when you milk clarify cocktails, they end up tasting totally different. And when there's fruit juices in the cocktail, it tends to bring the fruit flavors forward. It tends to soften the alcohol flavors. Like, it's still warm going down because there's a fair amount of alcohol in this. It's a couple of shots of whiskey in that. Irish whiskey. Yeah. Bit warm. It's quite fruity. Is there anything else I can say about the taste apart from fruity? No, it's sweet and fruity, and it doesn't really taste like alcohol, but then it goes down and it like warms you all the way down, and you go, oh yeah, that's actually alcohol. Yep. But it's lost all the alcohol burn from the base cocktail, and yes, it's just got a richer taste. I haven't actually done a whiskey clarified cocktail in a little while. I should do some more. I like whiskey. A Sazerac. That would be good. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that friggin' reminds me. I want to look at sugar. What burned itself out? The alcohol? Or it's not burnt out. It's just been, there's a chemical process that goes on literally like at the molecular level. Some of the molecules from the milk bond with some of the astringent elements in alcohol and really soften it. It's a thing I saw on liquor.com. 6 Sazerac twists to try right now. And I like a Sazerac. It's basically an old-fashioned with a bit of absinthe in it and with a different sort of bitters, with the Creole bitters, as opposed to, what do you call it, aromatic bitters. This one, they're saying you should use some rye. Oh, do a split base whiskey and Armagnac, and then some banana. I'm going to make that one. I'm going to fucking make that one. Yeah. A banana Sazerac. A banana rack. I'm still not sure what you're referring to, Ashoka. Don't put fuel on the fire. I don't know if you're seeing something I'm not seeing. Oh, you are referring to my alcohol. Okay. I just want to, if there was a question on the Sazeracs, I was going to ask our resident Star Trek expert, but I think she's otherwise occupied. So I don't know. If you're there, Abigail, I actually have a specific Star Trek question. This David just got home from the supermarket. Summer's fun. Sun's still at 8:40 p.m. I do. Like a lot of people rag on daylight saving, but the only reason we still like get it light till 9 p.m. is daylight saving, and I fucking love it. I'm a big fan, which I know a lot of people find wacky. A lot of people think daylight saving's weird or stupid. I like these long summer evenings, though. A golden syrup. Golden syrup Sazerac. Absinthe, cognac, golden. It's just friggin' cognac Sazerac with some golden syrup in it. Oh, okay. Lesser mortals with Star Trek questions. One of these Sazeracs is apparently named after a Star Trek character. It's called a Kanar Sazerac. K-A-N-A-R. It says it's Star Trek inspired. And it escapes me how that's a Star Trek reference. But what's it got in it? Fernet Branca and cognac. Simple syrup bitters. Fuck ton of bitters, in fact. Rim an old-fashioned glass with salt. I might make that one too. That's pretty intense sounding. Hey, nobody. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. I'm definitely making a banana Sazerac, though. Might do that next week. It's a Cardassian drink. There you go. Is it supposed to be bitter? Cardassians seem like a bitter people who crave a stiff drink. So a Sazerac might be their go-to after a long day of selling your soul to the Dominion. Salt rim balances bitterness and seems fitting for a species that throws back fish juice for breakfast. Okay. So they're trying to capture the spirit of a Cardassian drink with that. Fair enough. No, but you've had far better days dealing with dramas. Snow affected, won't be eating. Dude, oof. Hope it gets better. Oh, Raiders, you sent me a link. Okay, I will check that out anon about the current state of downtown LA. Sounds intense. I'm going to say. So, Graham, where did the requirement come from? Still use that video for your BA training course. Nice. Oh dear. Yes. Wonderful day on planet Earth. Yes, there are quite a few people with PTSD, but you know, we soldier on as much as we can. That's the thing, though, buddy. We've got to take things one day at a time. And each shitty day we get through brings us one day closer to the next good day. Graham, you got some Talisker. Nice. Make things look peaty, smoky, and rosy. I'm not that big on scotches per se. Whiskey generally, yes. And I like mixing a bit. Like I've gotten so into old fashions and Sazeracs lately. Just very, very boozy whiskey drinks with a few little additions. Nobody, you've learned you may suffer from a form of dysphoria. It's worth looking into then. If you got so, is this? Yeah, okay. Oh, because I moved that. My microphone's not normally on camera. I must have moved things around a bit tonight. Oh, yeah, Raiders. Remember the homeless getting pushed out of LA for the Olympic Games? 84. Now there's 35,000 homeless. Something about, I think it's just that, LA is such a sunny city. It's actually, it's a lot easier to be homeless in LA than, say, Chicago. Any of the places that snow in winter, that's got to be so brutal if you're homeless. Oh, sorry, Graham. I just saw your PTSD is post-Trump stress disorder. I'm hoping that clears up really quickly. The politics becomes boring, and that I can just complain like, Jesus, doesn't Joe Biden suck? He's so fucking boring. He won't do anything challenging. He's just been really boring. And there will be something comforting about politics being boring. No, but if you read the signs, someone may have dysphoria, and it feels like they're describing you. Yeah, it'd be something I would consult with a professional on, certainly. But yes, yeah, Ashoka, celebrating Trump go bye-bye. Like, my one hope is that the US media just stop giving him oxygen, stop giving him free publicity, stop giving him a channel to promote his horse shit. Yeah, Raiders, it absolutely is worth celebrating Trump with a ding dong, the witch is dead. Which is not saying I want Trump dead, just quoting the Wizard of Oz. This is someone giving a summary of the opening scene in Oz in that movie when Dorothy comes out of her house and it's landed on, the Wicked Witch. And and Dorothy's, oh no! And Glenda goes, she was a bitch. She deserved it. And he goes, oh, are you a witch too? Yeah, but I'm a good witch. Hey, steal that corpse's shoes. Fucking, wow, the good witches are a real fucking worry in Oz. You're not boring, mate. You're not boring at all. And I think you get quite a degree of support just for people empathizing with things like dysphoria and other travails. I think you get a lot of people who identify very much with that. So don't be down on yourself for sharing. I think the majority of folk here are completely okay with that. So, yes, don't feel like you're being any sort of a drag or anything, because you're not. So, yes, but we shall soldier on into the future. Why not? Why not indeed? Just keep on keeping on. Just remembering, oh my God, music I listened to in the 80s, the Redskins. They were a sort of skinhead ska band, but they were like radical left socialists. The skinhead movement got polluted very heavily by fascists, and skinheads ended up becoming synonymous with fascists, which was unfair for a culture that actually came out of Jamaican rude boy culture. But that's what we ended up thinking. Skinheads were automatically fascist. The Redskins were very radical left socialists, and they released a bunch of singles, and it was like, it was their plan for revolution. The one I really liked was called Keep On Keeping On. And it's like, don't give up the struggle, keep on keeping on till the fight is won. And then it's like, bring it down, as in, bring down the corrupt system. And then there was a song of What Do You Do Afterwards? At the end of an era, the first thing we do is kick over the statues. They were ahead of their time. In the 80s, they had a song about kicking over the statues of the fucking fascists from the past. Especially nobody, first you heard of dysphoria was gender dysphoria. Yeah, and it definitely comes in many forms. You're right, yes. Raiders, was there a marching band outside the White House playing Hit the Road Jack? Could have been fake. Who knows? But speaking of noise, this fucking stove has started buzzing. I have to hit the button because I hate it so much. Some weird fault in that stove that it does that, and we can't stop it from doing that. And yes. And while we're on the topic, so I've mentioned before, Mrs. Angry is a psychologist counselor, and this is one of her big messages. Do not believe everything you think. And there's a little checklist, like if you're something like dysphoria or just, mental well-being challenges, when you think something awful, so a few questions you can ask yourself. What proof do I have that it is true? Not why do I feel like it's true? What proof do you have that it's true? Then ask yourself, what proof do I have that it's not? Out of 100 people, how many will agree? What would I say to a dear friend, if a dear friend of yours was thinking the things that you're thinking? How will I think about this in 10 years? And can I formulate a more realistic thought? Now, that's not a magic spell. That's not a magic spell that instantly makes you better. That's part of an overall treatment plan. But it's pretty cool. Once more, do not believe everything you think. Brains fucking lie to you, man. They really do. Put this safely back on the fridge. And that's one of the weirdest things to come to terms with, I think, because we believe like, well, I know what's real. I know I'm holding a glass in my head. I know the lights are switched on. I know the fridge compressor just kicked in and it's doing it. But your brain is perfectly capable of falsifying all of that. And like the simple thing, a simple thing I like to show to people, like the whole thing, I believe, the evidence of my own eyes, and what my perception tells me. There are a whole range of two-dimensional optical illusions, and they're still images, right? You can print them out, and it's because they've got chromatically opposite colors on them. When you try to look at them, they give the illusion that they're moving. It's like they're animated, but it's just the way your eyes are. You don't realize it, but your eyes are flicking about a lot, and your brain is trying to process conflicting information, and then it gives you completely false information. You look at these images and go, that looks like it's moving, and it isn't. And that's a very simple, shallow thing, but it's an illustration of that idea of, I believe the evidence of my own eyes, or, my own perception tells me things. Like, it is very easy to show your brain can give you incredibly incorrect information. And it's a starting point for discovering things. Toronto Maple Leafer, good evening. I suppose it's good morning. Good morning to you, I think. I think we're doing okay. Oh, sad, Raiders. Hit the road, Jack didn't happen. You fact-checked it. But still, we like it. Ooh, we're getting the Australian youth gang, the Sharpies. Yeah. They were like rockabilly spin-offs, I think, the Sharpies. Like rock and roll, rockabilly, and Sharpies. We had some weird subcultures, not just in Australia, but around the world, doing things. But nobody is a clever trick with waterfalls. Look at the waterfall for 30 seconds, then look at something else. Often looks as though the object's moving up. Yes, because your brain's been doing this collation of the downward motion of the water, and it's like where you look at if you look at an animation of a spiral, like just a black and white spiral, and you really focus on it, and then look at the back of your hand, your whole hand seems to warp and twist. Basically, this whole idea of the evidence of your eyes and what your brain tells you, not very trustworthy. Toronto Maple Leaf, 5 a.m. inauguration day, too excited to sleep. I will hopefully sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow morning and read the news, find out how the inauguration went, if there was any weird or scary or violent fuckery around America. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? But yeah, it's funny. It's a thought I hadn't really had prior to tonight. And I articulated it earlier, but I realized I haven't really had this thought prior to tonight. It's potentially a very good thing that there's an administration in place that is at least likely to take the threat of far right white supremacist terrorism seriously. Because under Trump, they absolutely refused to take it seriously, even though all the enforcement agencies said, oh no, that's the number one threat to America. Far-right white supremacist style terrorists. They are plotting violence. They are bad people. Yes. Still, it was common for Sharpie women to be skinheads. Nice. That can be quite a good look. God, even Sharpies just reminded me of that the Who movie Quadrophenia, about the pitch battles between the mods and the rockers in early 60s England. That's about time, yawning at the halfway mark. Yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs, it's impossible to predict what's going to happen because the dangerous people are so unpredictable and they are so volatile. If I was going to place money on things, I would say there won't be any significant disruption in DC, because anyone stupid enough to do anything is probably going to get met with overwhelming force. But I think the real risk may be at various state capitol buildings, and that shit could go very wrong very quickly. So it sounds like that would be right, that there's some evolution from sharps into the skinheads pre-fascism, because I know in the UK, the skinheads basically came out of the teddy boy movement, which basically came out of like Jamaican subculture. The teddy boys were like this weird cross from rock and roll to ska, and ska came out of Jamaican Caribbean music, and so had the Rude Boys and the Teddy Boy. No, the Teddy Boys were the rockers. The Rude Boys were the ones coming out of ska, and then a lot of that morphed into skinheads as well. And then there was the grossness in the 80s, the slide into fascism with skinheads. So Trump's leaving the White House 8 a.m. DC time, which is 3 hours from now. There you go. Oh my God, Toronto Maple Leaf, your dad's gone through the looking glass, thinks it was Antifa who stormed the Capitol. And what cracked me up with the real weirdo Trumpos posting pictures saying, oh, we know that's not a Trump person, that's an Antifa person. I'm like, cool, track them down, arrest them, prosecute them, jail them. I'm not going to waste time with your fucking delusion. But if your delusion feeds into, because I'm fixated in this weird fantasy that this is Antifa, that I want these people caught and prosecuted. Cool. Let's do it. Let's hunt them down, arrest them, prosecute them, and imprison them, because they're fucking dangerous. And if you want to tell yourself this utterly absurd lie that they weren't Trump supporters, I don't fucking give a shit. So long as these dangerous fucking whack jobs get arrested. Yeah, nobody. I can certainly understand the feeling of, should just open fire on the Trumpers. But yeah, and as you yourself point out, that is fascism. That's not acceptable. We don't want that. Stella, that's excellent. Every time someone says storming the Capitol, all you can think is from The Princess Bride. Bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle. Is it going to work? It'd take a miracle. Raiders is a new... Oh, is that also a Princess Bride reference? Because I've seen that in a meme. In The Princess Bride, Inigo, the Spaniard, says to Wesley, who's going to retire as the Dread Pirate Roberts, and Inigo says, I've been in the revenge business for so long. Now that I've achieved it, I don't know what to do. And Wesley says, have you considered piracy? You'd make an excellent Dread Pirate Roberts. And I've seen that turned into a meme with someone saying, was it, I've been in the anti-Trump business for so long. Now he's gone, I don't know what to do with myself. And it was like, well, have you tried just going for anti-white supremacy? Yes. Ashoka, I did see Chomsky saying he thought Ted Cruz would have been worse. That is possible. Ted Cruz is an utterly horrible person with no redeeming features. That's a true thing. Raiders, I'm not sure if Trump can pardon any more people. It was very interesting that he pardoned Bannon's. Not particularly surprising, but it was interesting because Bannon was being prosecuted for scam for stealing millions of dollars from gullible Trump supporters. And the fact that Trump pardoned the guy who was stealing money and huge amounts of money from his supporters, you know, I look at it and go, that's got to make at least some of the Trump supporters go, wait a minute, that guy was actually stealing from us and Trump pardoned him. I suspect maybe Trump didn't want to drain the swamp. But yeah. John Maple, if he can't pardon himself, can't pardon Giuliani. But you are right about the rot being through the entire GOP. They're just fucked. Who knows, man? Everything's so weird. There are so many moving parts, and so much stuff that's gotten way out of control. It's very hard to know what's going to happen. Hey, Megalith, how you going, mate? Yeah, I didn't go into detail with those pardons raiders, but I did think the other conspirators weren't pardoned by Trump, which was a bit weird. Yeah, still, that's it. That's the thing. Trump supporters are fucking stooges. They got suckered in to what was obviously going to be a scam, and the people who conducted the scam were so blatant about it because they think they're above prosecution. It was extremely easy to ping them, and they're all facing very serious charges. And yeah, the charges is stealing from Trump supporters, and it's just like, I don't care, man. They fucking deserve to have their money taken from them. The fact that the whole thing was that ridiculous, gross, racist fantasy about the wall between Mexico and the US, basically every worthless piece of fucking garbage who donated money to that obvious bullshit deserves to have their money fucking stolen. They're just fucking garbage. Oh, Toronto Maple Leaf, exactly. Trump would throw anyone, his own mother, his own family, under the bus to save himself. So who knows? Right, he's just saying he can pardon in secret unless Congress takes him to task. I guess we'll find out. And from my understanding, Bannon is certainly at risk of state prosecution for these crimes. Presidential pardon only works on the federal level. So if after Trump leaves office, Bannon was charged under state laws, Trump's pardon wouldn't do him any good. But yes, it's just a fucking criminal enterprise, essentially. And who knows what will happen. We'll just see. Nobody want Trump to throw himself under a bus in a non-metaphorical sense. That's an understandable feeling, quite honestly. Yeah, so wasn't it funny, Lil Wayne getting pardoned? That's surreal. For those who missed that one, the rapper Lil Wayne was facing federal firearm charges, and Trump pardoned him. So I was like, oh, God damn it. I'm just going to keep yawning intermittently now I've started. Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm looking over there. I've still got my clarified cocktails sitting over there. I want another one. Maybe not. Who knows? So if you don't have Ron Jeremy's been since, that's right. He's on a whole cavalcade of sexual assault charges, isn't he? Fucker. Yeah. His cunning plan was to have the public persona of being a gross, creepy guy. So when he was accused of sexual assault, there'd be this whole thing. But that was just his public persona, being a gross, creepy guy. Yeah. Yes, Megalich, exactly. Trump is bound to say that pardoning Lil Wayne means he's done more for black communities than any other president. Because that's the weird fucking world. I don't think Trump has pardoned Ron Jeremy. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I'm just going to keep yawning. There's the thing. I yawn once, and then that's it. It's like the floodgates are opened, and I'm just gonna yawn independently. So I was cleaning up. I found this. I forgot I bought. Started to melt into goop. This is handmade rock candy, sweet, sour, salty chili, made with actual chili oil, and they are actually seriously fucking hot. I was gonna dissolve them in, say vodka or something, and have some chili vodka. It's also bright red. Yeah, Toronto Maple Leaf. That's an interesting thing. If Trump would have pardoned Epstein, if Epstein was still alive, that is an interesting one to ponder. If he would have regarded Epstein as too much of a hot potato, but they're definitely friends. They've been friends for decades. Like, how old am I? You're 33. I'm almost exactly 20 years older than you. There you go. 53. I'm just going to keep yawning, so my apologies. Yes. Raiders. The fact that, and I know this isn't how you pronounce her name, but I think it's funny to pronounce it this way. Ghislaine Maxwell. She is not worth learning how to pronounce her name. Look, I'm screening the mysterious kitchen ninja. Now the fridge is backwards. The kitchen ninja would have to reach up to get things out of the freezer. Now they have to reach up, get something out of the fridge. Oh, I think we'll find out if Ghislaine Maxwell gets her. Oh, holy fucking shit. Why can I not stop yawning? I'm not that tired. Like, I don't feel like I'm falling asleep or anything. I just can't stop yawning, which is really annoying. Like, if I have another drink, it might distract me, or it might actually make me sleepy. Who can tell? Oh, yes, I saw that as well. Toronto Maple Leaf. The reflection in the windows did, in fact, give away the kitchen ninja. Look, it's true. I mean, your time does go quick. But, I just work on, celebrate the day. This is where I am now. And if I think too much about it, it gets a bit freaky. So I try not to think about it too much. Mind you, when I had my recent scare about possible bowel cancer risk, so I had to go in for the voot and the voot, the old spit roast, the gastroscopy and endoscopy at the same procedure. Oh my God, my brain just went there. Like, well, what if you die? What if they put you out on the table and you don't fucking wake up? What if that's it? What if every conversation you had with everyone in the last day is the last conversation you ever had with them? How about that? Or what if there's just complications? What if you do have bowel cancer and you're going to get some really gross treatment for the next 12 months that may or may not work? Ooh, what if you end up with a colostomy? And man, my brain just fucking went there. And so I had about a week of freaking out, got very intense about the 24 hours prior to the procedure, because that's when my brain started going, what if you die on the operating table? What if you don't wake up? Oh my, that's fucked, isn't it? And that was really hard to get out of my head. So, yeah. Toronto Maple Leaf, trying to get your head around spicy vodka. make your drink spicy. I've got some. The only reason I'm not doing it, I've got some chili liqueur over there, made in Mexico, and a little bit of that in a drink gives it a real zing. And some people are just mad for chili anyway. Yes, Toronto Maple Leaf. I know anesthetic complication were low, but they're still there, and it was very hard to get that thought out of my head. No, but it depends on the day and the weather, as if you mind the prospect of death. Yeah, no, that's a thing. Yeah, that those contradictions in your head about being scared of dying, wanting to die, that's fairly normal. But yeah, I mean, this little scare really did bring home. I'm not keen on the concept of dying, even though it's got to happen sometime. So, put all my ice in that glass. And speaking of chili, this one, this one actually has some of the chili liqueur in it. Like, is it you, or is MBN a whole lot better? It depends where you are and depends on the day. I mean, I mostly I think we do a little pop, little ASMR there. Hellshade, hello. I think the Trump trolls are still crying like babies. Yes. And they are just going to spend, if evidence I've seen online is any indication, they are just going to spend the next couple of years just indulging in the most bizarre fucking fantasies. Safa, if Trump's able to run again, he'll fucking destroy the Republican Party. He'll fucking destroy them. So if the Democrats have potentially learned how to deal with Trump, him still being an active player could possibly be the best thing that could happen for them. Because if Trump splits the conservative vote, then the conservatives don't have a hope of winning. What will the Russian bot farms do now that Trump's gone? The available evidence is the Russian shenanigans were just about destabilizing America. If America is weakened, it's to Russia's benefit. And yes, I think they probably did prefer Trump in power for a number of reasons, but there's a lot of evidence that all they wanted to do is stir shit up. They wanted to weaken America. They wanted to cause division in America. And that's proven to be absurdly easy to do, just like, ridiculously easy to do. Yeah. Hellshade, that's the thing. Trump's trial in the Senate coming up. They need I think it's the 2/3 majority to convict Trump. And if that happens, then they have to have a second vote to pursue the idea of Trump being barred for running from office again. That only requires a simple majority. I don't think they're going to get the votes in the Senate to convict Trump unless some other shit comes out soon, which is always possible because Trump is a major fucking criminal. Oh God, Toronto Maple Leaf, it's so bad. You're living with the Trumpster fire. It's unreal living with them and bipolar thinking. Still under the impression there's a way Trump can be president to being complete withdrawn and lost within himself. Yeah, in all seriousness, and now's probably not the right time, but down the line, what would be worth your while looking up, there are some actual good resources and advice online about, it's basically how do you deprogram someone from a cult, and coming straight at them and saying your cult is stupid, why do you think such stupid things, almost never works, even though their cult is stupid and they think stupid things, even though you can have a mountain of evidence to show their cult is stupid, it won't help. But there are other methods that basically encourage someone to be open-minded, like, okay, and I'd probably get them horribly wrong, but they're along the lines of saying, like, okay, why do you think that? Because I don't trust the media. Okay. So where are you getting the information from? The internet. So what is it about unsourced, anonymous information? Sorry, excuse me. What is it about anonymous, unsourced information on the internet that makes it more reliable than something that's in the media that someone has to put their name to? Oh, that's so different to the last one. Again, in my mind, I still had the taste of the last drink in my head. And this, besides being a radically different color, pretty sort of green-blue, as opposed to pretty sort of peach orange, the taste is radically different as well. The orange one is sweeter. This one's tequila. Yeah, Sun Bear, essentially the Socratic method is really quite useful. Yeah, okay, Toronto Maple Leaf, there is some very good sources online that have shown very close to conclusively who is actually controlling the QAnon messages, and you might be shocked to learn that it's a con man, and a person who actually runs child porn websites out of the Philippines. So again, it won't work to straight up say, look, the person who is almost definitely controlling the Q messaging is actually just a con man. But you need to sort of gradually work them in, like, yeah, okay, you've gone for this because, you know, you have an inquiring mind, you question things as well. Are we applying the same level of questioning to QAnon as we are to mainstream media? Because again, given that stuff on the internet is anonymous, unsourced, and unverifiable, why does that hold up against stuff that someone has to put their name to, that they can provide sources for, and that other independent sources can verify? And you need to sort of start putting the thoughts into their head, and it may never work. It may take a long time. It may happen relatively quickly, but realizing, like, because it's not that all the QAnon people are stupid. It's they got into a particular, a bunch of them are stupid, by the way, but they got into a particular mindset, and it's kind of the greatest strength of the evolved human mind can be its greatest weakness as well. And that's basically pattern recognition. There's a lot of cultural anthropologists who talk about human ancestors developing the ability to recognize patterns as makes them very good at identifying threats, like a camouflage predator coming for them. The better you were at recognizing patterns as like natural, wait, not natural, threat perceived, take evasive action, the better you are at recognizing patterns and change in patterns, the more likely you are to get away from predators. But this part of the human mind will also see patterns where patterns don't exist. People are very good at filling in the blanks and creating patterns that don't exist. Just simple things like the words, it's something like pareidolia or something, seeing faces in things. I think we've all done that. Like you just see a shape on a wall or like even like a PowerPoint and go, oh, I can see a face in that. You've got this absolutely base level pattern recognition of what a face is. And so then seeing particular sort of shapes and shadows, it's very easy for you to go, oh, there's a face in that, when there isn't. And so it's like one of humans' big strengths, pattern recognition, can also be one of our big weaknesses because you actually see patterns that aren't there, or you fill in the blanks and you go, aha. And it's like this predator reflex. It's like, I've sensed danger because I've seen this clearly means this. And it doesn't. Oh, actually, that's beautiful. Nobody's saying, seeing a sign for CPAP supplies, partially obscured, became crap supplies in your mind. When I initially saw that, I read the first line as seeing a sign for crap supplies, because crap is a word you would see. CPAP is an acronym. And prior to fucking coronavirus, you wouldn't hear around at all. So my brain actually filled in crap in there. So there you go. Hellshade, good amount of Republicans in America are con men and grifters. Yes, they are. They really fucking are. Like, big time. So yeah, Toronto Maple, if you get the pattern recognition, yeah, it is a big part of our survival, but also a big risk. Oh no, Raiders, tub of Golden Gay Time. Do not rate it. It's not as good as a Golden Gay Time on a stick. I've tried it too, I think. So I agree with you. Oh God, you know what? Hey, you know who you can trust about snack food? Fat bastards, because I eat lots of them. The Magnum tubs that have just like all the extra chocolate, like there's chocolate around it and you crack it so the chocolate breaks, and there's this really thick layer of chocolate on the top, and there's like about 6 or 8 different. I love the white chocolate one, just between white chocolate, and then there's a salted caramel one and what? Oh, Toronto Maple Leaf. It's hard to have a gay time on your own. It's a very old Australian ice cream confectionery. It's called a Gay Time, a Golden Gay Time. And I saw, and I don't know if the guy was taking the piss, but it's like someone like at a Tumblr post or status update. Someone goes because they brought out these limited edition ones, and there was a salted caramel one that they called a Salty Gay Time, and this guy did a status update like, my dad just gave me a Salty Gay Time and I really enjoyed it. And then he does an update, I just realized I may have horrified American friends. A Salty Gay Time is a brand name for ice cream in Australia. So it wasn't a cry for help. Sunday, you like the vegan Magnums? I haven't tried them. And Shannon, good evening to you. Oh, Toronto Maple Leaf, a Golden Gay Time clearly sounds like a sex thing. Ashoka, I'm not going full stream of, that's AIDSy. AIDSy, multiple days sleep deprivation and then going into stream of consciousness and other worldliness. Stella, you had a molten hot kernel of popcorn fly out of the machine and land on your foot. Oof. That's the universe punishing you for being a fat bastard. I'm just doing it. So it's but for real, Toronto Maple Leaf in the 70s and possibly into the 80s, the advertising tagline for Gay Time was, "It's hard to have a gay time on your own." I shit you not, that little jingle was like on primetime TV. There was never any gay imagery in the ads. It was always very, very, very heterosexual. But yeah, when you've got the tagline, it's hard to have a gay time on your own. It's like, oof. He's never like when AZ falls asleep in the last year. Yes, because he's got multiple days of sleep deprivation and he just keeps pushing until like his brain shuts down. It's not even going to sleep, it's losing consciousness. Shannon, we have had a jolly good laugh about the fuckwits who are very upset that they are getting arrested for storming the Capitol. It's really funny. And they appear to have not been pardoned by Trump, which is pretty fucking funny. Okay, Sunbear, you reckon... Okay, you've sold me. I'm basically going to have to try a vegan Magnum now. Hellshade, have a good evening. Yes, you definitely need to look after your wrist, mate. So take care and peace. Yeah. I did have, it wasn't a vegan Magnum, but it was a coconut-based ice cream. So it was vegan. It was totally non-dairy and whatnot. And I quite liked that, actually. Coconut-based ice confection. Pretty darn good. So a bit of a fan of that. Okay. So Stella, the vegan Magnum is coconut. That would make sense. And I like coconut. Use it in my drinks. I was drinking my coconut pineapple juice earlier. But I love doing tropical drinks with all the rums and all the fruit juices. I need to get some more coconut milk so I can make my cream of coconut, basically coconut sugar syrup, which is so hellishly unhealthy. It's fucking fantastic because coconut milk tends to be like 30% fat, and to turn it into cream of coconut, which you use for flavoring cocktails, you basically add 50% sugar to it and mix, put it on a low heat on the stove, makes it easier to dissolve the sugar in. Ashoka, Trump has already been impeached. So this is where you need to be really careful with the language because it confuses a lot of people. And one of the big things that confuses people, the impeachment process in America is not a legal process. It is not based on a court hearing evidence. It is a political process with some of the trappings of a legal process. The outcome is based solely on votes by political parties, and historically, the parties have almost always completely voted along party lines. The evidence hasn't been relevant. So Trump has been impeached for the second time by Congress. The next stage of the process, if the Biden administration pursues it, is for a trial in the Senate. And if the trial in the Senate finds the president guilty, and they need a 2/3 majority to do that, to the best of my knowledge, then if the president is still serving, they can be removed from office. But Trump is already out of office. So if the Senate votes to convict, they can then have a second vote, which requires just a simple majority to bar Trump from running for office again. I don't think the Senate will convict. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think they will. Who knows? Maybe the Republicans have gotten really pragmatic and gone, Jesus Christ, if Trump can run again, he'll fucking tear us apart. And so they will vote to convict just for the longer term preservation of the Republican Party. It's possible. I don't think it will happen, but it's possible. Yeah, Toronto Maple Leaf. Shit's hit the fan when your own personal attorney can't represent you because they're a witness in the thing you've been representing. Also, Giuliani's a terrible lawyer. He's fucking bad. Ashoka, no, you are categorically wrong there. The impeachment does not mean no pension. It does not mean no second term. It does not mean no legal protections. None of that is true. Impeachment is just a political declaration by the Congress that says, we think the president is not fit to hold office. It then goes to the Senate, where a trial is held, and if the Senate votes to convict, then that has weight. Like I said, if the president is still in office, the Senate can then remove the president from office. If the president's not in office, like Trump, they can have a second vote, which is to take away all these benefits, including the ability to run for office again. Sorry, a change of pace, Shannon. Yes. What about the fucking mouth breathers upset about changing the name of a brand of cheese? Yes. The shock and horror that there will not be a wall in supermarkets saying Coon anymore, which is fucking outrageous that it's taken this long. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the bullshit that they hid behind of, oh, it's named after this guy who invented it. Not actually true. That's their cover story that they made up retrospectively to try and justify. A fairly believable researcher came up with very compelling evidence that the original Coon cheese was wrapped in black wax, and that's why it was called Coon cheese. And then they changed the wax wrapping to red and called it Red Coon, and then they didn't wrap it in wax anymore after a while, and it was just called Coon. But the name's always been fucking racist. And even if it was completely innocent, even if it was named after its inventor, this is not true, but let's say it was. It's still one of the most vile racial epithets. And the fact that people have to go into a supermarket and see a wall of products saying Coon repeatedly is fucking vile. It's like someone was really sticking hard to the inventor story. And I just had a suspicion, and I went, I bet there's an inventor named Cunt. Spelled with a K, because that's a German name. And I just looked it up, inventor Cunt. And there was, over the years, there have been a number of inventors with the surname K-U-N-T. And so could you imagine if you tried to have a product in the supermarket called Cunt, and it just said in big blue letters everywhere, Cunt. And when people were objected, you go, but that's his name. It's like, it wouldn't hold up. It's all it is these people don't care about the racism. It is as simple as that. It is not, you should be allowed to call the product anything, because you can't. If someone's name was Fucker, you can't have a product on the shelves called Fucker. You just can't. So when people say you shouldn't be bothered by the name Coon, it just means you're just not bothered by the racism. It's as simple as that. Yes. Well, Stella, you wouldn't be stopped by calling a product Isis, which was, the Egyptian goddess, but it wouldn't be very good commercially because of the terrorist assholes to call a product ISIS at the moment. Oh, Raiders, there were lots of companies called ISIS. There were lots of businesses called ISIS. Stuff like Tony Abbott trying to remove race discrimination from law a few years ago, because Tony Abbott is a fucking racist. He's a fucking piece of shit. No, but you can't have real estate from Anus Realty. I think you'd have problems, honestly. And it's also like when people want to argue against like deplatforming fascists, not giving fascists a voice in media, in social media, in mainstream media. You go, oh, it's censorship. And it's like, you just put them on the spot and say, so you're saying child rapists should be given a platform. They should have unfettered access to both online and offline media to promote their child rape agenda. You go, don't be ridiculous. You can't do that. Okay. So you don't believe people should be able to be promoting anything. It's you just don't care when they're promoting fascism and racism. It's that straightforward. When the people say that, oh, I don't think it's racist, you actually just don't care. You don't care about the racism. I like that, nobody. You made fake radio ads for giggles. One of them was Anish Realty. You should upload them. You absolutely should. Raiders, you hate Abbott more than Trump because he's too close to home. He's clearly the worst prime minister Australia had. Like, he was an abysmal failure. Trump is a much bigger success than Abbott. Abbott is just an arsehole, an aggressive, argumentative arsehole, so much so that his own party dumped him after a couple of years because they realized, oh, he's an effective opposition leader, like when he doesn't have to do anything, when he just has to fight. But he's a fucking shithouse prime minister. When he has to do something, he's fucking useless. And he's electoral poison. So they dumped him. So that's my favorite thing about Abbott. What a complete fucking failure he is. Because he's a failure. He is a colossal fucking failure. So, yeah, that's something he gets to carry with him forever. The degree to which he grabbed the great big brass ring and absolutely failed. Oh, yeah, Raiders. Kevin Andrews is a piece of fucking shit, but he's not as dangerous as Abbott. But he's a piece of shit. Yes. Oh, yes, I love that saying, nobody. Hey, kids, tired of being told what to do by your parents? Time to move out while you still know everything. Rizzo Shannon, you said to a friend's mother the other day, forgive the racist slur to make a point. There's a brand of cheese called nigger cheese. It would have been called that for decades. People would be calling for it to be taken off the shelves, rename themselves. Only people upset would be racist. Look, this was an actual real thing in Queensland. Up until very, very recently, there was a sporting oval named after a local sports hero whose surname was Brown, and he had he was a white guy who had the glorious nickname of Nigger. And so this this sporting oval was, big sign calling it the Nigger Brown Oval. And there was an incredibly aggressive campaign in Queensland to keep that name when it became a bit widely known that this existed. And people are like, what the fuck? There was an incredibly aggressive campaign to keep the name because they said, it's not racist, it was his nickname. So there are people who will defend that. So, and the pure and simple fact is because they're deeply fucking racist. They don't care about that. I'll look it up. It was, where was it? Edwin Stanley Brown died in 1972. So here it is from a newspaper article published 12 years ago, 2008. Anti-racism campaigner says Coon Cheese. Wow, it took him 12 years. Coon Cheese is next on the hit list after the Queensland government ruled controversial grandstand being rebuilt in the state south would not keep the name. Toowoomba Sports Ground Trust, while the grandstand Bering's name was demolished. Part of an upgrade, the N-word would be used on a plaque or statue at the new ground. But then late yesterday, Sports Minister said, no, it won't. So these racist fucking pieces of shit will say, well, we're still going to have a statue. We're still going to have a plaque that says it. Fuck you, you fucking politically correct pricks. So then the state sports minister said, no, it fucking won't. So yeah, a Toowoomba academic, Stephen Hagan, campaigned against the name of this sporting field for almost a decade, took his case to the United Nations. So celebration will be short-lived because he's going to fight on coon cheese now. And this is the guy who uncovered, whose research said that story's bullshit. They say it's named after Edward Coon. His finding was the cheese used to have black wraparound wax. The name Coon was used as a joke. He said, I want dairy farmers to show me evidence of Edward Coon being honoured in an honorary doctorate. What year he received that honorary doctorate? Basically, it was a spurious story. There was someone involved in cheese making in the US whose surname was Coon, but the idea that he was directly related to this Coon cheese in Australia is a fucking lie. It is a complete and absolute lie. You got Shannon Tuba, African-American guy met in America. Fell in love with you and your friend, also from Australia in your accents. Silly stories from Australia. Ah, yes, that's the thing. He referred. I had a video about this with using the N-word, you my niggers. And a video where a guy I met at a comedy club, he was from the South in America, and he, wanted me to be comfortable with saying that, because he was saying it to me and I should be comfortable saying it to him. And I was like, no, dude, I will say it to the huge danger is I would get too comfortable saying it to you, and then I would say it in front of the wrong person in the wrong context, and probably justifiably get smacked in the head. Locust Trooper, you reckon ScoMo's going to lose next year? No, he'll win because Labor fucking suck shit. Labor are absolutely abysmal. Albanese sucks. There's a small chance if they got rid of Albanese and put someone in, and I don't know who, someone. They lost a couple of their best people when Gillard went, because there was a few of their best people said, if you roll Gillard, I'm resigning, leaving the party. And they stayed to their word. And that was some of the best people in the Labor Party. But yes, if they got rid of Albanese and put someone in who would actually fucking stand for something, someone who would actually inspire voters, someone who, you felt like meant something, then they'd have a chance. But as they stand currently, Labor absolutely suck ass. Albanese absolutely sucks ass, and not in a good way. Oh, Shannon, I think Albanese is by far a better choice, and not even close. He's by far a better choice for Prime Minister than Morrison. The Labor Party are by far better choice to govern than the Liberal Party, but they're just ineffectual and fucking pathetic, and they're obsessed with pushing this message like, oh, we're like the Liberal Party, but not quite, so vote for us. It's like, fuck off. Raiders Tanya for PM. Well, Plivers, like prior to the last election, point blank said she's not interested in leading the party. She didn't want to be taken away from her family that much, and good on her. She is one of my preferred Labor politicians, definitely. If circumstances change, maybe she'd be open to the job, and I could feel like I could get more passionate supporting her than Albanese, and which is a big disappointment, because I always thought Albanese was the old school left. He was. Like, Keating hated him. What was the phrase he used for him? He called him an unreconstructed Stalinist, because Keating was so right-wing and neoliberal, and Albanese was from the left of Labor. So when Albanese was made leader, I thought, oh, maybe we're going to get something. But he's been worse than Shorten. He's been more pathetic than Shorten. He's been more ineffectual than Shorten. And I fucking hated Shorten. And it just sucks. Nobody. Well, we saw from the last election, all the Liberal Party has to do to get the pensioners on side is to tell a lie about, oh, Australia, oh, pensioners, Labor's going to tax you, take your home off you, and they all believe it, and we get a fucked result. And I honestly think a big part of the reason Labor lost the election last time is Shorten's absolutely shithouse tactic of the sum total of his campaigning being, we're not those guys. Now, seriously, that's enough for me, but it's not inspiring. It doesn't mean anything in and of itself. It's the Liberals didn't win the last election. Labor lost it badly. Labor absolutely fucked it. There was no great shining glory from the Liberal Party that led them to victory. Labor just absolutely fucked it. It was one of the most abysmal political performances of my life. Like, it was fucking pathetic. It was terrible. Safa, most boomers live in Queensland. Well, no, that's not strictly true. The states with the biggest population have the most boomers. I think the state with the biggest percentage of boomers is Queensland because all the retirees moved up there. Most raw numbers will just, I think, go hand in hand with the population. But proportionally, I feel confident in saying Queensland has the most boomers because all the retirees go up there. If someone actually has figures that contradict me, love to hear them, because I literally just pulled that out of my ass. It feels true. It feels true, but I did make it up. Yeah, Shannon, in so many ways, Queensland is Australia's Florida. The temperature, the climate, and the fact all the retirees go there. And it's also where weirdness happens. Yeah. Their Florida man is our Queensland man, quite honestly. I love it when someone actually exposed the myth, like weird stuff doesn't actually happen statistically more often in Florida. It's just Florida has this law where all the weird court cases get made public, and so the media was picking up on them and publishing them because they sounded weird and wacky, and so you ended up with Florida man. Nobody, you can't help but wonder if Labor Party saw the writing on the wall. Let the Libs have the bum sandwich being enduring. No, they did not. No, you are ascribing far too much intelligence to the Labor Party. No, they just failed. They failed the worst anyone's fucking failed. They just sucked. Oh yeah, Locust Tripper. If you're anything but a straight white cis male, the Liberal Party is not great news for you. There are all the associated hangers-on who don't fit that, who feel like it's their best bet. But most of the time, if you don't fit that demographic, you're going to get fucked by the LNP. But yeah, and the trouble is, but Labor has just gotten so bad and wanting to be Liberal Party light, they're barely any better. They, their policy with disability is barely any better. Their policy with refugees and asylum seekers is definitely no better. Their policy for Indigenous people is barely any better. It's just fuck. Like, when do I reckon they're going to cut the DSP? I do not know, but there's been a very big push, particularly from the LNP, to a lesser extent also from Labor, to basically gut the welfare state, to make it extremely hard for people to get benefits for disability and whatnot. I don't know. Raiders, where's Penny Wong's prodigy? You think Penny Wong's coach herself? Penny Wong is probably my favorite Australian politician because she's just so fucking brutal. Yes, Stella, Labor definitely gave up on their democratic socialist roots. Ashoka, what we'll know about the Senate with Trump is to what degree the Biden administration intends to pursue it. I don't know how long it'll go. Oh, Shannon saying Wong for PM. I wouldn't wish that on her. We saw what happened to a woman prime minister, and even diehard Labor dudes being vicious and spiteful and misogynist because they hated the idea of a woman telling them what to do. We've seen how fucking vile people were to Gillard. Imagine what they'd be to a lesbian of Asian descent. She doesn't deserve it. So Lumi, good night. Have a good night. Fingers crossed for date night tomorrow night. So who's going to replace Putin? I don't think Putin intends to die. I don't think Putin intends to ever let anyone replace him. Oh, yeah, nobody. I would hope that lobby groups and just decent people will eventually kick back on the vile attacks on people with disabilities from the LNP. But they're pretty fucking full on about screwing people over. Yeah, I guess it's Stella. You think Penny's too smart to leave the Senate? Raiders, you think she's too effective there? It's not in her interest. I mean, you know what would happen. Like I said, seeing the vile spite that was leveled at Gillard solely for being a woman, and you just like I said, just having seen that, then imagine what would happen to a lesbian of Asian descent. It would just be horrific. She doesn't need it. Locust Trooper, what do I think Labor and Liberal are the same on welfare? No, not the same. But Labor seem to be getting shittier. I think the Liberal Party have this creepy fucking ideology that opposes welfare, that even when it doesn't make economic sense, they will launch attacks on people who need welfare support just because it's their ideology. And I don't think Labor is as bad as them, but Labor seem to be making good old effort to be super fucking shitty. Yeah, nobody means to sincerely. I'm not even saying that out loud. I don't want anyone taking a recording out of context. Yeah. Raiders, good question. Was a PR machine behind the Young Labor members? I believe it's called Friendly Geordies. Except, yeah. Oh, exactly, because they seem to be, in my opinion, the Labor Party, certainly Shorten and Albanese, have been pushing hard that they're Liberal Party light. And it fucking sucks. Oh, dear. Good old Friendly Geordies continues to try and be more and more controversial. Very aggressively pushes the Labor Party, though. Well, I think what we've seen both in the New South Wales state election and the Australian federal election, although Friendly Geordies makes very good points when he highlights why people should vote Labor and why the LNP are shit, he appears to have no actual impact on the vote. But oh God, Stella, I didn't see his Trump video. The mind fucking boggles what he could have done there. But yeah. Yeah, see, nobody, like I said, without hesitation, I would say, like I've been shitting on Labor and Albanese specifically. Without doubt, Albanese would be a far better prime minister than Scummo. Like, it's not even close. And Labor would be a far better governing party than the LNP. Again, not even close. But it's just they're doing nothing to inspire people to vote for them. Everything I've seen of their strategy for years has just been fucked. Absolutely fucked. Sunbear, you like the Geordie's interview with Rudd. Okay, Rudd annoys the shit out of me as well. Someone who had such potential, to just be honestly an historically significant prime minister, and let down by his personality, basically. The fact that he was impossible to work with, that he was prone to temper tantrums and bullying and whatnot. He had such potential and fucked it. Oh, yeah, right. This is Albanese not performing. I don't hesitate for a second to say Labor should get rid of Albanese. I don't know who they'd replace him with, but he's absolutely ineffectual. He's done nothing. Hardcore Labor toadies. It's great. It's been standing up to ScoMo. No, if you're not a rusted on Labor broken, he's fucking useless. Oh, Jesus, Locust Trooper, Rudd and his bullying, like he would go into caucus meetings and just fucking scream at them. And honestly, I loved that. I thought that was hilarious. Like he was proposing, like he's trying to show they're responsible. He was proposing getting rid of a bunch of perks for MPs that he's basically saying, like, this is bullshit. People are doing it tough. We can't be scoring all these tens of thousands of dollars worth of perks and expect people to be happy with that. And then he found out that some in the caucus were kind of upset at the idea of losing perks because they liked their perks, their tens of thousands of dollars of perks. And he apparently stormed into the caucus room and into a meeting and just went, these were his words, "You fucking cunts are going to do what you're fucking told." And he just fucking screamed at them. And there were a couple of reports of him losing his temper, like at flight crew and stuff on international flights. See, I think a real giveaway was in the very early days of him being PM, when he's still bright and shiny. His closest staff, like the people who loved him the most, when the journos are saying, "What's it like working with him?" they went, "He doesn't get enough sleep. Like he's sleeping like 3 hours a night. He's overly driven and he thinks he can keep functioning on 3 hours a night, and you can't." And they basically said he gets cranky. It was his downfall. It was like self-inflicted wounds. It was ridiculous. Oh, my lovely dame, hello. Oh, I bet say you're here for the last 5 minutes. I'm actually 5 minutes overdue. I am going to go to bed. Ashoka, Kevin Rudd is immeasurably better than Tony Abbott. Tony Abbott is an absolute fucking piece of shit. Tony Abbott is fucking garbage. Kevin Rudd was someone who was let down by his own ego and hubris. Raiders, Rhodes Scholar, that's not based on academic brilliance. The Rhodes Scholarship system is just a privilege system. It's very easy to think, oh, Rhodes Scholar, he must have been smart. No, the Rhodes Scholarship is a privilege system. It's nothing to do with intelligence, academic excellence. But anyway, yes, Abbott was a piece of shit. Rudd was let down by his ego and hubris, and Albanese sucks ass. And I don't know who they'd replace him with, but they should replace him. Anywho, that's me, busy upsetting the Labor mainstream for a while. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you, fine people, for joining me. Sorry you came in right at the end, my lovely day. If I'd gone at the normal time, I would have been gone before you got here. So at least got to say hello. And all things being equal, I will be back tomorrow night. So I hope to see some of you fine people then. Until then, look after yourself. Take care. I got a fun cocktail on my YouTube cocktail channel, Angry Cocktails. The Mr. President I did for Inauguration Day. Besides being topical, turns out it's a really fucking good cocktail. I really like it. And it's a really simple one. 3-ingredient cocktail that's really good. Just throwing that out there. You should go on, find Angry Cocktails, and subscribe because it's good. And comment to tell me you're there. Anyway, hopefully see you all again anon. I'm going to go to bed.